All right, Shrewd News and Reviews, man. We back keeping it lit with the news,
Yeah,
man.
y'all know
Gerard
what's
the Water
going on.
God.
You know what's going on. It's the home of hip hop news and cultural commentary. And today we're going to get into the YNW murder trial, double murder trial. And the judge has denied the defense's motion for mistrial. And the court is going to resume at 1:30.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, there was some what a lot of people see as prosecutorial misconduct. They were trying to bring some inadmissible evidence through the back door, so to speak. And,
Yeah.
the defense was right to motion for mistrial, but it seems like the judge
They
ain't
were
going
right,
for
you
that.
said? Oh.
Well, they were right to
Yeah.
go for it. I think his
Yeah.
defense did good by wrecking the prosecutor's flow, and the prosecutor was getting real personal with her questions and seemed to be, thrown off a little
Mhm.
bit. But it seems like the trial's going to go on. We'll find
Yep.
out more
Now,
at
a lot of
1:30.
people think that a mistrial means like he's could get off, but it don't mean that at all. It means it has to be a new jury, new judge,
Yeah, that's
new
what I'm hearing.
selection.
I
Yeah.
also heard some legal analysts that said that if there was a mistrial, it would be grounds for the charges to be dismissed and they couldn't try him again. So I heard
Oh
that
wow.
same
Both
legal
both part,
analysis that
yeah,
you're
on both
talking
sides.
about, but I heard somebody that kind of contradicted that. So we're not lawyers, we're trying to figure it out,
Right.
but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. What do you think about all of the people showing so much support for YNW Melly, even though he's suspected of having done something pretty despicable, killing your best friends? Are you surprised to see that he has so much support in the comments? And
No, because it's a good alibi with what he has too,
Mhm.
so we have to look at it like that. He's saying that, somebody, wet the car up. Somebody shot their car up with his friends in it. And in today's society, it's very believable that, it's a lot of shootouts that goes on between gang members and young
So you you
black men.
buy you buy the story about
I
it
ain't
could have been.
buying it. I'm saying it's a good, it makes, it could make people make it make sense that where, yeah, y'all
uh,
into it, y'all rapping about it. This happens all the time. We see rappers get shot up and
I
shot
don't.
at.
There's nobody suspected of shooting at him though. Like when they're talking
Oh, okay.
about who are the people that they're pointing at that were the real shooters. I haven't heard any names of those people come up. And this is a day and age where people self snitch immediately after pulling something like that off. So, what do you think about Little Tim, the guy
Okay.
who shot King Von?
Yeah.
In the eyes of the law, Lil Tim and Quando Rondo were victims of King Von that night. And Lil Tim did what he was supposed to do to protect his friend. In the eyes
Yeah.
of the law, he was right. Yet he's been villainized, looked at as a bad guy. He's kind of shunned from the hip hop industry. Now, on the other hand, we have a guy here suspected of killing both of his friends and
Hmm.
staging it like it was a drive by. Do you think
Allegedly. Allegedly,
allegedly,
you saying.
allegedly,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to
That's
say.
not
So what I'm
right.
trying to say is, do you think that's weird? That there's kind of like a double standard, like the moral barometer of the hip hop community is a little bit off? Because shouldn't this guy be demonized? We don't know. I'm saying what
I
should be
think on both
suspected of.
sides, depending on, what you stand for and what you are, what your morals stand on, I think you'll be. But I think he had a lot of fans, and I think what the King Von had a lot of fans. So it's like when you're dealing with rappers and they got a lot of support
Yeah.
already, it's like, yeah, they're gonna support them 100. Just like with your friends, you're gonna support them. You
No, not
know,
necessarily. I'll turn on my friends pretty quick. I need my friends to know that. If you think
yeah,
YNW Melly will turn on his friends, you'll see how I'll turn on a friend. It won't
yeah,
be physically like YNW Melly, but I don't have to be. I got to be kind to
yeah,
my friends, but I'm not going to be kind to their ideas, and I'm not going to justify bad actions. If you my homeboy and you did
yeah,
something crazy, which I do have homeboys who have been accused of some crazy stuff, I kind of gotta like step away from them. I'm still gonna
yeah,
be compassionate and kind because they was my homeboys at one point, but we can't really be kicking it like that. I'm not gonna be
yeah.
flicking it up with you. Not we probably not gonna be going
Damn,
on no vacations or nothing like that because
got you.
it's stuff that I'm just morally opposed to. So I just thought it was interesting to bring that up. I think that that's crazy. It kind of just points to the hypocrisy of the hip hop community, and I'll point to
Okay,
another thing,
yeah,
a certain type of cognitive bias called the halo effect. How much you like someone influences your judgments of them. How much you like somebody influences your judgments of them. YNW Melly makes damn good music, man. He got slappers out there. It's hard to turn the people away from a guy who has good music. I'll give you a good example. 6ix9ine don't have good music, right? He talked, right? And people wasn't really checking for him like that and everything. Even though he's still making money, he wasn't really popular in the hip-hop community, right? The music just wasn't good enough. Gunna told, we saw Gunna, telling on recording and everything. Some people would consider that telling. And I got to tell you, he's number one. His album went number one on Apple Music. You feel me? I listened to the album. I liked it. It's slapping. And people are making all kind of excuses for him, just like they're making excuses for this guy. He's accused of killing his friend, but because we like his music and because we think he's a charismatic guy, we're going to do mental gymnastics to be like, well, maybe somebody else did it. Maybe, maybe he got, a split personality disorder. And if he did do it, it's really not his fault because that was Melvin, not Melly. Or we don't know if he really, you ain't heard that one?
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. But people will come up with some crazy.
I'll say this.
Okay.
I'll say this. The rap industry we know is definitely watered down. It's not, we got a lot of the code, like you were saying. Man, fuck the code. The code don't even really matter to a lot of people anymore that even support rap or have things to do with rap. And now even the morals is getting kind of a little shaky. Rap is turning into a fair, a show, like
because everything goes in rap. We not standing
right.
On
it's
nothing. Like if we're not against,
and then we point to the streets like, nah, fuck the street code. It's like, nah, the streets is a little bit, it's solid, it's there. This is the thing that's changing.
Cold, though, because listen, the streets are supporting this guy is all I'm trying to say. I'm saying we should live in a world where we all frown upon somebody killing a friend. Look, we're not saying that he did this. He's
right. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, I don't have to keep saying that every time. Listen, people suspect that he did it. There are people who suspect that he did it, and even though they suspect that he did it, they're supporting him. That's a problem. We don't see as a community.
So yet, I think you have to get that guilty verdict before you say.
Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Okay. We're talking about people's opinion. Can we get past that? We know that he's not convicted. People think he did it, and they don't care. That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's crazy. Okay,
you got to stand on something. This is an opinion show, so we're not going to be pussyfooting around the issue. We're talking about what people really think. They think he did it, and it's not a problem. But if they would have thought that he told, maybe it would be a little bit different. Or would it? That brings up a good. That's a good segue because while we're waiting for the trial to resume at 1:30, last night an 8-year-old interrogation video about some shootings that YNW Melly was involved in popped up, and this guy's talking. Now, in his defense, it seems like he didn't want to snitch on the guy who hid the gun for him, but he did eventually tell detectives that he hid a gun, and he told on some guy named Vontae. He gave his last name. He was 16 years old at the time, and this is a guy that Boosie came to court and defended. Now, I'll play a little bit of this so you can hear with your own ears, but this guy was
the internet
never fails, man. I got this from the Rap Generals page. Here we go. Oh, let's start it.
All this evidence already.
I had it on mute.
I told you, a lot of the stuff we don't need because we have all this evidence already. Now's your time.
Really need to think about what you're going to do. Because now is the time to try to be honest and try to make things right. Okay? If you shot in self-defense or something, you need to let us know.
Yeah.
What happened?
Somebody at the Plum Tomato pulled out a gun on me.
Who?
One of the kids.
Somebody you go to school with?
Yeah.
Same grade?
Yeah.
What's he go by?
Trying to think.
Trying to think.
I think he goes to the alternative.
All right. What's his street name?
I know his last name, Gillespie.
Gillespie?
Hey, they asked him for his street name. He said his last name is Gillespie, and that turned out to be a real guy. That's Vontae Gillespie. And to be fair, Vontae ended up telling on him too. So they told
So it
on
was
each
like
other.
yeah.
It's like some old Tax Stone Troy Ave type
They were
shit.
shooting
Like
at
we
each
don't.
other. Yeah. They were shooting at each other.
Well, Melly was charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of discharging a firearm in public.
So
He
check
claims
this
that he
out.
wrestled the gun away from him, and then
Right. So it's like I can't even put this case in it because it's like, okay, we bussing. I'm trying to get off and let them know you shot at me first when I started shooting. That's something that's they're not, you get what I mean? It's gunfire going off. So I gotta explain my story.
Well, let me
But he did
try to.
mention Buddy's name.
He did mention his name, but if I understand what you're saying correctly, if you're trying to prove your innocence by way of self-defense, part of your defense is proving that the other person did something to make you feel in threat of your life. So if you're in that position, you kind of have to snitch. Is that what you're saying?
I ain't saying you have to snitch. You gotta give a reason of why you up your thing and started shooting.
That's snitching, brother. You're cooperating. You're giving information to the police that they didn't have. Have you forgotten the streets rules? How do you think Boosie would feel about that?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're in the shootout and they claim, you say, yeah, man, somebody shot at me, and but he's giving names and the last name, yeah, that's
Well,
going a little bit. But if
that's the
you
thing
say,
that,
hey, man, look, I seen a gun, I was threatened, I started shooting back, I don't know the dude, I didn't, I
that
can
would have been better.
understand. Yeah, I can understand that. I can say, yeah.
That would have been better if he didn't give the names. But honestly,
Right.
This is where I'm at with it. You're going to have that kind of situation pop up a lot of times, right?
Mhm.
If you're trying to shoot at me, I don't care about how I got to get you out the way. Just
Right.
like
You see
King,
what QC,
yeah, QCP did. You see what YNW Melly, somebody who we suspect to be a real savage, somebody who we suspect to catch a body or two, and that's how he allegedly treats his friends. So imagine a nigga who you got beef with. But what I'm trying to say is, when it's an enemy, you're not gonna really be trying to be loyal to the street code like that. He was probably in a feeling or in a position to say, I gotta get this guy out of the way no matter how it goes down. And to me,
Yeah.
I don't really think that's that dishonorable. You got to understand, man, self-preservation is the first rule of life. I know that you extra hard niggas out there, you overly tough ass niggas is like, no, man, this is what he signed up for. He ain't supposed to. Nah, man, if you're trying to prove self-defense and there's somebody who shot at you, you're going to keep seeing that situation pop up over and over and over and over again. That's why
because
both of
some
these
people
guys told
lying
on each
about the
other.
situation too, though. This is what
What
you
you
got to
say?
understand. I said some people lie about the situation,
Well,
like
well,
you saying
look,
it's the enemy.
you're absolutely right. Just like I said, YNW Melly lied in this interrogation interview, in my opinion. I wasn't there, but in my opinion, he lied
Damn, you
because he
just
said,
jump.
can I finish my
Go
statement,
ahead.
sir? I'm saying that he was worried about snitching on a person that hid the gun. They asked him directly, who hid the gun for you? And YNW Melly act like he couldn't remember or he didn't want to say. So he had some kind of conscience within him. He knew he didn't want to incriminate anybody who he was cool with. But this is an enemy. Niggas who will snitch on their enemies. That's a part of the game that nobody wants to talk about. That's been going on since the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
it's just the reality of the situation. So I wonder.
But we hear people say, "I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy."
Come
We
on,
hear
man.
that
I would
saying
definitely.
all a lot.
I'm not saying I would have reacted like how Melly did in this situation, but yeah, I could definitely wish death. I mean, death or jail on my worst enemy. Are you serious? Do you know what your worst enemy will do to you? I don't have no problem wishing jail on my worst enemy. I hear people say that goofy shit all the time, and I don't agree with that at all. You ain't never had no real enemies if you feel like you wouldn't want them out the way.
Damn, yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying, bro.
So that's
You
just
ain't
how that
lying.
goes.
He lying, dog. You ain't really been out here like that. Damn,
Yeah,
that's
you need him out the
crazy.
way. I saw some reports of WAC 100 defending these actions. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but I wonder how many people will come to Melly's defense, just like they defending him in this double murder trial.
I think they're gonna defend him, man, because
Yeah,
he upped that thing, and it's a shooting, and like I said, but he gave his name where I consider it
yeah.
crossing the line. If you would just like tell him, look, I had to up this thing, and you just kept it at that, I can't knock nobody for. I
Listen,
can't call you a rat for
listen.
cooperating.
Even if there's gonna be some people that call you a rat, but as long as you could create a little bit of doubt, it
you
kind of
straight,
allows you to have
you
a
right,
career. Because
yeah,
we saw Rollo, Gunna, and Boston Richie just create a little bit of
a
doubt in
little
there. Like,
bit of
look,
doubt.
man,
You
I,
right.
I might have told, but I have
It's a
an
gray area.
excuse. Yeah, I have an explanation. People will be like, oh, that's not really
You right.
snitching. So
You right. There's room for him to just it's the past. Then
yeah,
time
sweep it
goes
under the
by.
rug.
Yeah.
He was 16 years old. Maybe they tricked him. This is
Right.
the
They using
government
that
trying to
word,
turn
right.
brothers against
No,
each other.
right. Yeah, yeah. They using that word now. Look, man, I got tricked into snitching. Like, oh
Yeah,
my God. I
yeah,
made it
this the
juicy
government.
for him. No,
Listen, this the
I ain't
government
going for
trying to.
all of this. Yeah, no. You right. Look, I ain't going for all of this, bro. It's
Nah,
like
hey,
it is
bro, that
what
ain't
it
no
is.
COINTELPRO type shit like how they did Malcolm and Martin. Like they that's the government turning brothers against each other. They tricky, they crafty.
You know what
He's
I'm
16.
saying? It's all kind of ways we can go about it, but we can't let the narrative of people trying to get the name up off of them change the game, and that's what seems like is happening.
You know what was funny too? I watched the full interrogation of YNW Melly in this thing that was online. Y'all look that up. YNW Melly cooperating with cops in interrogation. You'll see it. At one point during the interrogation, did you catch when he said, tell me what y'all know first? Like the police asking him for information. He said, well, tell me what y'all know first. Hey, I'm gonna leave it on that note, man. Y'all hit the like
Yo,
button.
y'all let
Y'all
us know what y'all
subscribe,
think,
bro.
man.
Y'all
Subscribe to
let
the
us know,
channel.
man, what y'all feel.
Shrew.